Good morning, y'all. Good morning. This is Sandra. I'm sorry, I know. I'm actually not even ready for the day, and I'm just still a complete mess. Um, so, hence the dark screen. Um, but I guess it can also be symbolic. But anyway, um, I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's prayed up. And hopefully everybody keeps praying, because we have a lot of work, you know, because we as healers, people want to say, oh, no, you're not a healer, you have never gone to school, you have never done this, you have never done that, you're not a healer, but anybody who's actually taken the time to heal themselves and their own lives, and as a result healing their families, freaking way to go. it's tough, it's hard, and the healing takes a lot of energy. It really does. And maybe that's why people don't want to put the work into it, But there's all this programming that we're brought up with, we're taught just basically who to be, how to be, right? It begins at home kind of thing. The child is taught at home. So, every family also has the black sheep, the one that doesn't do the things the way the other family does, and people say that's the black-headed sheep, or the black-headed sheep, the black sheep of the family. And my mom calls my older brother the black sheep of the family. And so I tease her back and I say, so I'm the black-headed sheep of the family. Because I understand. A lot. And the reason for that is I decided to recognize it. And I tell you what, when you're such a perfectionist and you're such a hard critic on yourself, when you mess up really bad in some shape or form, in any way or form, you're, as a perfectionist, you're really hard on yourself. Really, really hard on yourself. And there are no breaks. You feel like there's punishment for it, and only you know how to give yourself that punishment for it, right? Because nobody can ruin your day better than you can, right? But I prayed every morning. I still do pray every morning, and I still do pray every night. I pray because, our way of life, our way of life, meaning I'm Navajo, so my cultural ways, our cultural way of life, you wake up early every morning and you make your offerings, and you exercise and make make sure that you can breathe. And so that way you're recognized as to our gods, that you're not a lazy person, that you want a good life, that you wake up every morning asking for it, that you want your health and you make sure you work for it every morning, and that kind of thing. And it really does pertain to everyday life. It really, really does. And it really, really it really, really becomes challenging, more so when you're trying to find your way out of darkness. And that darkness is almost is like conditioning. You're conditioned to think, you need this, you need a vehicle, you need to have your lights on, you need to have running water, you need to have all of these things, you need. They tell you need these things. But how I grew up, in the time I was born, where my home was, for a very long time, there was no running water, there was no electricity, there was no paved roads, there are no street signs, there are no street lights. But now there are. It's growing, it's beginning to modernize a little bit. And I'm glad that it's not super modernized, because when I go home, it reminds me, it keeps me humble. This is where you come from. This is how strong you are. You faced muddy roads. You're gonna be okay. You survived after your cousins made you go ride that one horse that wasn't really broken yet. Remember that time you got bucked off of that other one? And you survived. You're still here. And they told you to get back on that horse, and you did. You survived. You're here. That's what we're made of. That's what I'm made of. And that's where I come from. It's a beautiful place, but it has its hardships. It can be a hard place to grow up. It can be. It probably was worse before. I'm not. I don't know. But this fear. There's this fear that I might get sick and die. I might get COVID and die. I might, there's so much fear. There's so much fear. A war could start. Yeah, and we have children, and they're supposed to go out into this world and be okay. And us being the parents that we are, we're like, well, we're gonna send them into this world, we better prepare them. And then I'm like, wait a minute, why am I preparing my kids for the world? Why isn't the world meeting my child halfway on that? Why can't other people take it upon themselves to work on themselves? Why is all this hate just making more hate? Why is that okay? Why is that all right? Why is it okay to not be held accountable for your own actions? Why is it so hard for you to hold yourself accountable for your own actions? Why is that? Because you would have to look at yourself and say, I'm not perfect. I can't judge that person now because I'm not perfect. So hence, that comes right back. Yes, you're absolutely right. Who the hell are you to judge? Who are you to judge? Anyone. And on top of that, who are you to judge yourself? What makes you a horrible person? When you don't learn from your mistakes, that's what makes you a horrible person. It makes you, less than yourself. Because you're choosing not to learn. You're choosing to keep doing the same mistake and getting a different result that does not work. No matter how much faith you have, sometimes it will not work. Most of the time it will not work. You can't love something into working. Like your vehicle can overheat and it won't turn on anymore, and you can't love it into working. You can't take someone who doesn't want to deal with their with their past demons and whatever has happened in their lifetime that has made them sad and dark. If they can't face that, you can't love them into facing it. They have to love themselves into facing it. If this triggers you, if you think I'm just talking mess, if this just moves something within you, don't be afraid of it. Do not lash out. Pray about it. Think about it. Pray about it. Where did that come from? Why do I feel that way about a certain thing? Why do I feel that way when she speaks on this? Why do I feel that way? This person has nothing to do with me. This person has nothing to do with my life. This person is just speaking to me. Why is this bothering me? Because you need to grow. And if you don't want to grow, that's okay. That's on you. That's absolutely fine. That's okay. If it's too much, that's okay. Pray about it. Pray about it. How do I properly release this? How do I make this okay with myself again? You pray about it. You have to speak for yourself. After you speak for yourself, you have to mean it. That's holding yourself accountable. This sense of entitlement that people feel that they're just, there's a strange sense of entitlement. I don't know how to explain it. There's a strange sense of entitlement. No one's entitled to anything. Except children. Children. And, I want to make this as short as I can because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but you know, you will absolutely feel better. You will absolutely be able to turn your own life around when you start to believe in yourself again. Because when you were a child, when you were a baby, nothing was impossible. Everything was attainable. But as we grew up, our dreams were put into a box and labeled the American dream. And they said the only way to get that is if you have to do all of these things. I met people who have done all of those things step by step, and they are depressed people and they're unhappy, and they don't know what's wrong with them because they work so hard for whatever they were told is supposed to make them happy. So only you know what makes you happy. Only you know. And if you're an adult, you know, if you're an adult, like, you know the difference between right and wrong. If that there is blurred, you need to pray about it. That's the only thing that will fix anything is prayer. Pray every morning and every night and mean it. Walk your talk. If you can't do that, why can't you? You should be able to. Pray about it. If you don't know how, pray about it. How do I do this? You obviously don't know everything, huh? I don't know everything. I do not know everything. I literally know nothing. That's literally how I feel. I know nothing, but I know myself. I know this body. I know this brain. I know this heart. I know me. Can you say that? If you can say that, pray about it. Pray about it. There is nothing you can't change if you pray. Pray, 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 pray. Every little pray. If you feel like, if you have been and you feel like it's just you against the world, we're out here praying for you too. We're out here rooting for you. Every morning I pray. It's been a long time. For the whole world. For those who can't. For those who won't. For those who are weak. for those who are sick, for absolutely the whole world. So I'm praying for you too. I'm rooting for you too. You can do this. It's not unattainable. You can be happy. You can feel safe again. So pray today, healers. Heal yourself. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. The impossible has already happened. All the hurt has already happened. Now pray and let's come out of it. Pray and let's not be hurt anymore. Pray and let's be safe again. Alright? You still can. You still can. Only you can change it. But you have to pray and you have to mean it. And you gotta do the work of walking that talk and loving yourself. On every level. Self-love on every level. Can you do it? Because you teach other people how to love you. Alright? So love yourself. Pray for yourself. Have a beautiful day.